Hi everyone and welcome to a tutorial or more or less a walkthrough and insight into my chart packs that you can buy in my web shop. So the latest additions are the motion picture color chart mega pack, the photo stocks color chart mega pack, and the Eastman EXR chart pack. So these are the latest three. This one is basically finished, and with the photo stocks color chart mega pack and the motion picture one, there are still some charts missing at the time of this recording, but I will try to update them soon. So with all of these, you have two folders once you get access. Usually once you buy them, you request access to the Google Drive and you will get access to the drive within 48 hours. Usually it's way faster. And with all of them, you have two folders, namely the Blackmagic Design Cintel G3 HDR Plus. That's one scanner. That's a motion picture scanner, and the Fuji Frontier SP3000. This is a stills photography scanner. So the Blackmagic one scans to Xenon log, or at least very close to its density 2.046, and to film primaries as a color space. So most of you get a little bit confused when I'm saying film primaries or which color space they should use for a color space transform when working with film scans. And I will give you some clues in this tutorial already, how to do proper color transforms, or at least some that are leading to a great result. And there's also a detailed tutorial on how to work with film scans, and probably also a comparison between the Cintel scanner and the Arriscanner coming very soon to the website. And the Fuji Frontier, as this is a still photography scanner, there is some automation applied already, and it scans to sRGB primaries with a gamma of 2.2 because Stills World works in 2.2. That being said, there's always some automation with the Fuji Frontier. I will give you an example in a minute. And while you can turn off most of it, it usually breaks this thing very fast and easily. I tried it, I instantly broke my RAM, and as these machines are 20, 30, sometimes even maybe 40 years old, I don't know, you get the hardware not so easily, so it's not so accessible anymore, and it's very, very expensive. Because of that, I tried to make them all consistent, but there's always some automation applied. I would use these ones for like creative profiling, if you like color or whatever, but the exposure value stops are not that well spaced because the scanner always tries to get the best out of the stills image and corrects them. On the other hand, with the Cintel scanner, I forgot to mention this one, you just basically in quote zero out the film base and then there's nothing else applied. So that's a true representation on what's on the film stock. There's no color correction applied, no print LUT applied, nothing. All right, so let's look at some examples. Let's go to, for example, Vision 3 250D. We're all familiar with that stock probably. As you can see with this one, I also have a one-stop push, two-stop push, bleach bypass, and a normal one. There's also coming a pull, a -1 pull. And let's go into the normal and the first one. And as you can see, this is the Cintel scan. So it's flat and you can prep it for whatever you want to. It's Xenon log with film primaries. Blackmagic actually states that they are scanning to some sort of Cintel color space, whatever. But it's the same basically with all of film scans. Because film does not have fixed primaries as with digital cameras, where you have a red, green, blue value and this triangle that you see on the charts, but film is organic and does not have fixed primaries. If you want to use a color space transform, you can get close with Rec. 709, for instance. Also P3 will lead you to great results. And if you want to use ACES, especially with the Cintel scanner, the ADX10 IDT works great out of the box. And I would assume it's because ADX10 is also calibrated to density 2.046 as the Cintel scanner also is. But a more in-depth dive into what this density means and what ADX10 is and how you also can prep other stuff for ADX10, I will show you on the website pretty soon. And another thing is, this won't be a profiling tutorial, but if you want to dive very deep into film profiling, you can check out my website, and there's the film profile journey here in the tutorials. And if you start at 1 and work your way through 20 at the moment, you will get a lot of infos and a lot of insights and in-depth information on how I work with film scans. And pretty fast you will get a lot of understanding on how to work with all of this. Okay, so let's look at another chart for comparison, and let's go to the Fuji Frontier one. Again, let's use the 250D normal, and the first image, that's now a 5600 Kelvin. The other one was 2700 because I also did different Kelvins so that you can do a more robust profile. But as you can see, these ones are corrected. They have a print LUT applied already because that's how Fuji works. And I think the colors you get out are looking amazing. It looks instantly very nice and great. And now let's dive into Resolve, and I will show you how you can actually take advantage of these files too. And I will also give you a short insight on how to work with the other charts. In here, for example, that's a Agfa Vista 200 stock, and it looks very faded. The dyes were pretty fucked, and that's, I would say, pretty normal because this stock is expired for like 30 years. I was very happy to still get the original Agfa Vista 200, and that was possible because a good friend of mine, of René Rotlauer, a very great director. And of course, I tried to shoot charts and profile this stock and not use it for some personal images or stuff like that. And there's a very, very detailed tutorial on how to even better prep these charts coming soon. It's currently in the research and developing stage. But for now, what you can do, for example, I would go in and balance it with the offset wheel first. So as you can see, the red channel is pretty fucked. So I will try to do minus red quite a lot and basically do what also the Cintel scanner does in quotes is I will try to align black more or less. So maybe around here, like so. Now I basically have more or less a neutral black, and of course now it's very greenish. As you can see, the red channel is very squeezed and the green one is pretty up and the blue one is somewhere in between. I will go into another node and use my RGB mixer, which basically is a 3x3 matrix, especially if you turn off preserve luminance. And with the 3x3 matrix, you should usually do it within the linear space, and that this color space transform works correctly. You also have to set it in here correctly, so we are in the neon. And then you can push like the strongest channel into the red one, for example, so like this. And now I will try to align mid-gray here and do the same for the blue channel, like so. And as you can see, before and after, I have a very nice and workable result. Of course, some colors shift in a weird way, and because of that, I will do it wrong in quotes on purpose. And I already prepped this in, this is the version in here, where I use this 3x3 matrix. I turned on preserve luminance, and I didn't do it in linear, but just in neon. But as you can see, the colors are more true to what they should look like, because I know what this tape should look like. And also the patches are more saturated, which I really like. Maybe the red one is losing it a bit, but I don't care too much because I could do the profile and then change the LUT behavior. Or I can go in and adjust the saturation already because I want to have more creative freedom and don't want to be limited, but just have great colors, and they are looking amazing. You have this nice looking grayscale, which I really love with Agfa stocks, and I also love how these colors look in here. And to verify if everything looks correct, you can, for example, apply a Fuji print LUT that's coming within Resolve or the Kodak print LUT and see how all of this looks. And then you're saying, okay, this looks amazing. And of course, then you can grade in between those, or maybe even adjust the contrast, for example, what I did before, and open it up a bit if you want to even alter this profile way more to your creative likings. I think there's no right or wrong, especially if you don't want to have a one-to-one film emulation, but just a kind of film profile that gives you nice looking results. Speaking of that, let's go into a timeline that I prepped for DaVinci Wide Gamut. So in here, now I also have to change the timeline color space accordingly. And with these scans, as I said, it's Gamma 2.2. if you want to work in 2.4, you can use a color space transform and go from gamma 2.2 to gamma 2.4. Of course, I'm speaking about the Fuji Frontier scans now, and this is a Fuji Eterna scan, and I think this looks amazing. And then you can go in and align the charts, for example, the Aria Mirror one that you can also get in my shop, and do an input transform from Aria Wide Gamut 3 and Log C3 to DaVinci Intermediate and DaVinci Wide Gamut, and with the ODD go to Rec 709 Gamma 2.4. Now this one is display prep, and of course this one is display prepped already. And then you can just grab a screenshot of this one and select it in here, line up the batches via the reference sizing, and then as you can see, with some batches the difference are very strong, and with other ones they are not so strong, but still a mild difference. And then you can do your profiling within the IDT and ODT. And of course you can just say, okay, I just want the red patch, for example, because I really like how this red looks in here, and in my project I really could take advantage of this red. And you can use whatever tool you want to. You can use DCTLs, you can use Tetra, for example, or just this hue versus set and hue versus luminance curves, or the new color slice tool, or the color whopper. Feel free to use whatever you want to. And as you already know, you have the film profile journey up on my website, where you can learn all about film profiling. Again, this is not a profiling tutorial, but I show you just real quick how to match one color, for example, and then you can save this one as a power grade and apply it to your projects where you feel like you need this nice looking red color. I won't get closer now, but I think you get the point. And that's basically how you can work with these film charts. You get way more ideas on profiling on the website. And the last thing I wanted to show you, it's wrong in here, but just that you have seen it with the ACES transform. This is the ADX10 transform I talked about for the Cintel scanner before, where you can go to ACES CCD and do all your profiles in ACES CCD then. I hope you're enjoying these packs. I really hope they can take your grading and daily work to the next level, because you can build a very huge library of film looks. Because as you can see, there are a ton of different stocks in there already. So you can do really, really nice film profiles and create a ton of different ones that you can use on your daily work. And you can, if you prep them for a scene referred workflow, mix and match all of them together and basically do a back and forth with your DP and director when doing look design and say, okay, I give you some of Fuji Pro 400H and combine it with, for example, Vision One 200T stock, and so on and so forth. You can really go back and forth and mix between all of those and build yourself a huge library of nice film logs. So thanks a lot if you purchased some of these packs already. If you have questions, feel free to reach out anytime. It's always best to comment below the tutorials, because then everybody else can also take advantage of the info that I'm giving you then. And yeah, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon on the next one. Bye.